Hello everybody and welcome back to F1 Manager 2022 with Aston Martin, where the last time out, what a race. If you haven't seen that one, go and check it out at the Circuit Paul Ricard. Spoilers, you've been warned. It was a 1-2 again for Aston Martin, so we are really setting a very good tone this season. Alonso getting first, Bottas getting second, and we are doing very well. Alonso into fourth in the Drivers' Championship, 3 points behind Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari. Bottas up to sixth, only 17 points behind his teammate. So both drivers doing very well, puts us roughly around 50 points off the two leading teams. So not out of the question that we could be on for a title charge this season, but we are in the second half of the season. We do need to start focusing research onto the car next year. So with that in mind, we have got two projects now happening next season, or in preparation for next season. The chassis and the rear wing as well. We'll start putting a few more research projects on the board, I think. Once the new underfloor comes in and the side pods, we'll see what we might need to upgrade for this season's car. But at the moment, we're in a pretty good job, and we do need to keep an eye on our finances for our facilities. Quite a few of them do need refurbishment and upgrades and stuff like that. And I think next season, if we get the opportunity, we're just going to save money and try and upgrade as much as our stuff as possible, which is decent, which is a good thing to do, I think. But we are going to Hungary to race at the Hungaroring for this one. So let's go and set our performance targets. We will get both drivers into Q2, and we will get both drivers into Q3, even though I said those the wrong way around. That is what we're going to do. Finishing position, we will... Let's put the fastest lap on there. I think even saying that if we don't do it, it's only 42,000 lost. And we've got the qualifying position streak back again. One driver in the top 10 in 5 races gets us 3.6 million. And a finish position streak. Number of drivers in the top 10. Get both drivers in the top 10 for a cool 1.365 million in the next 2 races. Lovely stuff. Right, I'll go and do practice. We'll be back for qualifying. Back for qualifying then, and again, it's a really good setup for Valtteri Bottas, 93% confidence, but Alonso, we got him to 92, and then I've tweaked it a little bit going into qualifying, so this can be very interesting to see how we get on in this session. But practice went well. We didn't get a penalty, a few other drivers did. Max Verstappen's got a penalty in there. I think Perez has got a penalty as well. He definitely crashed at some point. Let's go for the gearbox 3. I think we're going to save gearbox 4 for the next race after this one, I think. Car parts for Valtteri. Let's get E6 in there. We might not be taking any penalties this season. I'm just not sure. ERS might be the one where we're a little bit behind everybody else. But so far, car parts have been pretty good. Right, into qualifying we go. I'm expecting decent things after good sessions at all the other races so far. So let's get into this straight away and send our two guys out like we always do. Early on, try and set a nice time. Yep, DRS is enabled. There's no bad weather or rain or anything like that forecast for the race or qualifying. So we should be in a good position here. So Bottas and Alonso go 1-2 to start. They will be coming back in. We'll make sure they're back on those tyres they just used. Tyre wear doesn't seem to be too bad around Hungary. We did practice 3 on our one set of hard tyres for the whole thing. So we've gone faster than Sainz, which is very promising indeed. There's no upgrades coming to the car this time, but obviously in Paul Ricard we did show a good bit of speed. Okay, Verstappen goes ahead of us, but he's got a penalty, so I'm not too worried about him. But a 1:14, so 2 tenths to find to get pole. Not bad. So again, people just starting their second laps now. We probably will be safe, to be honest, with the times we've put in. But given the fact we're going to go out on used tyres, we will... We'll go out there and do another lap. Why not? We're going to try and save it and get the slipstream like we enjoy doing on our second laps, just to see if it is quicker. Let's have a look. Let's see if we get round in time, shall we? We may have left this too late. I mean, Magnussen's gone behind us, but that suggests that we will go round in time. Yes, we will, easily. And we're going to have some wonderful slipstream for Fernando Alonso, which doesn't put him top, but we're on used tyres. He didn't actually improve his time. But you can see there, Verstappen with the time penalty or a grid penalty. But Pierre Gasly's going to have one as well. And Schumacher, who is going to start from the back, might as well take all the grid penalties he wants, to be honest, because it's not going to affect him. Right, into Q2 we go. That was pretty simple, wasn't it? We'll put the used tyres on. It does look like it could be a circuit where only 80% confidence. Damn. Damn, I balls that up, didn't I? That's annoying. That might go up if he learns a bit more, but yeah, well, hopefully that's not for the race because that is dreadful. We had it to 92, so the changes I've made have really cocked that one up. But yeah, top 10. Top 10 is what's needed for Q2. Let's get into it and see how we get on. So again, we'll go early on these used tyres. We'll give Alonso some very nice slipstream as Stroll comes out with us. So does Ocon and Leclerc. And here we go, starting our fast laps. As is the slipstream beneficial? No, because Alonso doesn't go quicker than Bottas. So yeah, I don't think that's... Maybe, yeah, it's difficult to tell who was in front there, wasn't it? But we'll put a new, fresh set of softs on for both drivers and then wait for our second run in Q2. So at the moment, we actually have Alonso in the drop zone, in the outgoing zone. What's it called? Relegation zone? Elimination zone, that's it. That's the word I'm looking for. But he should be able to get a better time on the soft tyres. Max Verstappen set in a blistering 1:14.1, which was very, very good indeed. So we're going to try and give our drivers a little bit of space, to be honest. So we'll send Alonso out there, just so they both get clean air, and then we'll go Bottas there. That should be enough time to give them the clean air. We're hoping that both drivers do get out of Q2. It would be nice, to be honest. Oh, Bottas has spun. He's stopped. He's back on the circuit. There's a yellow flag, which may slow Verstappen down, to be honest. But I think Bottas is still going to have enough time to actually set his lap, which is mightily impressive. As Alonso is going to cross the line, jumps up to P2, Alonso. Excellent stuff. Bottas takes that off him and gets P2 after spinning. But Bottas span and managed to set a time, but it's P2, P3 for Aston Martin. If we do that in Q1, we're going to be P1 and P2 because Max Verstappen has his grid penalty. But I really hope Bottas doesn't mess this up. Obviously, we can't change our setup now because it's locked in for Parc Fermé. It would give us a grid penalty, but we're not going to do that. Hang on a minute. Let's get these used set on. We love running on a used set to start. That's what we're going to do. Into Q3 one, the all-important Q3. What can we do here as a partnership? As we'll send out Bottas and... Oh, Alonso just got out in front of Daniel Ricciardo with a bit of space. So hopefully there we can set some good times. Bottas starting his first fast lap in Q3 is going to set a 1:14. 1:14.5. Alonso really not too far behind him, but Verstappen goes quicker by 0.3 of a second. That is mightily impressive from the Red Bull driver, as we come to expect from Max Verstappen. But at the moment, it is P2 and P3, although Sainz literally jumps into P3 as I said that. Here we go again then. Everyone starting their final laps in Q3. What can we get from that? It's a very good Aston Martin car this year. It really is. We know we're going to have quite a lot of time here. So we're going to let's send out Bottas first. And then we'll leave it a little bit. And we'll send out Alonso. Just to make sure they've both got a good amount of space. As everyone else will be starting their quick laps. And we'll let Bottas and Alonso come through. Right, Alonso. Let's dive on board with Fernando Alonso. And watch his speedy little lap of the Hungaroring and see how we get on in Hungary. So at the moment, Bottas in P2 if Verstappen doesn't improve. Bottas sets a green sector 1, which is awesome because if he improves, he should. If he improves all of his sectors, he should keep at least P2, which will put him on pole in the Grand Prix. Alonso sets a green sector 1 as well. No purple sectors so far. But we do know that doesn't really mean that they might not get P1. Verstappen doesn't improve, so 1:13.9 is the time to beat. But he was 5/10 quicker than Valtteri Bottas was Max Verstappen. But Bottas is not going to be too far from crossing the line. So Alonso having a very speedy lap here. 2 green sectors for Valtteri, 2 green sectors for Fernando. As Bottas turns the last corner, we'll just keep an eye on the mini radar. Bottas crosses the line and stays second, improving by 4/100ths of a second. Fernando Alonso is now going to come around the final long right-hander at the Hungaroring, and he's going to cross the line and is an improvement. It is an improvement. It's 2 and 3, which means we're going to be starting 1 and 2 on the grid, and that is bloody brilliant. Well done to the drivers again, but look at the speed. Verstappen is half a second quicker. He must have taken new engine components, which must be his grid penalty. But that is a superb qualifying session. So there you have it. Aston Martin in positions 2 and 3, but will be position 1 and 2 on the grid. Max Verstappen with a grid penalty. We can't see how many positions it is. Hopefully he's starting right at the back, but we'll have to find out on race day. Right, so time to do the strategy, the fun part, the fun thing. I love doing all this strategy stuff. It is awesome. Right, Fernando Alonso, what is the quickest one it says at the moment? The quickest one it says is soft to hard, which is there. So we'll start with that one, and then we'll work our way through the strategies to see what's happening. So if you pit a little bit earlier, it's not quicker. If you pit a little bit later, apparently it is. But your softs are going to be knackered. So if we go on to the... There you go. Mediums to hard. 9 seconds quicker, apparently, if you do that. 10 seconds. 11 seconds. 12 seconds. Okay, so 12 seconds is the one. I think lap 30 we'll go with from there. And then we'll just come in again. Oh, well, let's have a quick little look. Add a new strategy. We'll go soft, medium, and soft, because we should have 2 sets left. So what can we do if we just set this up? We like so. Right, 5 seconds slower. So if we change them to the hards, no, that's still slower. There's no way you can... So that's saying that is the same. 1 second slower. 1 second slower. So the fastest you can get with a 2-stop is that. Unless you went... Yeah, see, the mediums are going to be quicker. 1 second faster. 1 second faster. 0. So it's saying that as a sort of strategy is 1 second quicker. So if that's now our quickest strategy... I don't think I fancy a 2-stop unless there's a safety car, just because of the time it will take. But can you then make this one with a 1-stop a similar... No, you can't. So it is saying a 2-stop is technically quicker. But when you've got the lead of the race, is that really what you want to do? Is that really what you want to do when you've got the lead of a race? Have a 2-stopper. You would need to get such a lead and still be in the pack when you get onto those soft tyres. Oh, medium soft is quicker. Oh my word. This is now turning into a really interesting race. So update that. Yeah, it's 2 seconds quicker, which isn't a lot, granted. Oh, I know 2 seconds isn't a lot, but this is the fine margins you need to make something work. That is the quickest we can get on that. It is saying it is quicker to do a 2-stop strategy. So that is, they're all the same, staying on those mediums. So is there a difference between... That is quicker. They're all the same. So you can sort of play that by ear coming off those first set of mediums. But if you go on to them later and then go on to the softs, no, that's still there. I wonder if you went if you went, oh, look at this. 5 seconds quicker. This is why you mess 6 seconds quicker. This is why you mess around with strategies. Yes, please. Thank you very much. Can you even go a little bit push? No, that is slower as well to push. That is slower. I think we've got to do a 2-stopper if it's saying it's 6 seconds quicker. And we'll play it by ear for... It's 8 seconds quicker than a 1-stop. It's a tough old track to overtake. I mean, Alonso's our lead driver. So I think what we're actually going to do is put Alonso on the 1-stop. And then we're going to take this one, which is 1:25.44. We're going to give that to Valtteri as his... Which will be closest to this one. So it'll be medium, soft, medium... 1:25.44. It's only a second quicker than those doing the 2-stop anyway. So people might do... I mean, Verstappen will probably do a 1-stop because he is going to be starting back down on the grid. I just want to make sure. So 1 second, that is quicker. 1 second, 1 second. Right, so delete that and delete that. And this is our quickest strategy. So that is a little bit quicker. So let's just do that at the moment is slightly quicker. That isn't. That isn't. That is slightly quicker. That isn't. So that is slightly quicker. That could well be the optimal strategy for Hungary. No. So that slows you down. That slightly slows you down. That slightly slows you down. Right. It's going to be interesting. We're splitting the strategies. I mean, Alonso can always change. That's the thing. If the lap times look so different, Alonso can definitely change. So I am expecting a safety car, so we're going to underfuel the car of some sort, maybe not by 2 laps, maybe just by 1 lap for both drivers, and then off the start line, obviously we're going to push and deal with that when it comes to tyre wear at the end of it. Yeah, interesting race, isn't it? It's going to be interesting. So the Hungarian Grand Prix, and oh my god, did I select the wrong? Why is Bottas on softs? Bottas is on softs. Okay, I've messed Bottas's strategy up. I must not have selected it. Did I not? I didn't select it. Oh my word. Okay, we're going to have to look into that. As well, Alonso has got a terrible start. Sainz has got right in front of him right from the off, which is very, very irritating for Fernando Alonso. But, well, Bottas... Right, we're going to have to... I can't believe I didn't select that. Okay, so he's starting on the softs, which is dreadful. Oh my god, he's really not going to do anything. Right, Bottas is going to have to do a two-stopper that was unplanned, which is going to be the soft, medium, hard. This is such a faux pas, isn't it? This is so bad. So if we quickly say create that strategy and then we'll go in and edit it. We've got a bit of live editing. So that's going to... Whoa. Hang on. What? Why is it saying that's update strategy? Oh, because we're on that one. Right. So that's not quicker. That is quicker. Update strategy. That is quicker. That isn't quicker. That is quicker. That's quicker. That's quicker. That is quicker to come in a lap earlier. That is quicker to come in a lap earlier. That is not quicker. That is not quicker. That is not quicker. That is not quicker. Right, okay. If we go on to the hards, it's not quicker, but that is quicker. Right, blooming hell, this is... I can't believe I've started him on the softs. He should be able to pull away. I mean, on the softs, getting him to push. That is quicker. That isn't quicker. So it looks like that is the optimal. That's slower. That's slower. Right. From where he is, this is the optimal strategy. So that's what we're going to go with. This is what we're going to go with Valtteri. We've sort of screwed him over a little bit. We are pushing the softs. Oh, actually, that's a good point. It's setting us up as if we're pushing the hards, right? The softs, right? So... that is 1 second quicker. If we go back to the mediums, 1 second quicker, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0. The hards are 0, so that's quicker on. That's the same on the hards. And if we push the hards a little bit, I think we're going to go with that. Right. Bloody hell. Okay, so we're going soft, hard, medium. I just want to check that the mediums aren't. No, see, the mediums are quicker. The mediums are quicker than pushing the hards. Update strategy. That's slower. That's slower. That is the optimal strategy. So update that. Come out of this. Oh my word, what a crazy start to this race. Well, Bottas was going to do a two-stopper anyway. So we'll see how that goes. Bottas out in front. Alonso needs to get that position back off Carlos Sainz, who is on the soft, so he'll be doing a two-stop. And this is where Alonso may be able to get something done. But at the moment, us three seem to be pulling away from everyone quite considerably here. Bottas has got a 1.3 second lead already over Carlos Sainz in second place, which is really, really good to see. So let's bring him back. He can keep deploying, but we'll get everything back in line for him. As Alonso having a battle with Carlos Sainz. If he can get in front on the medium tyres, that would be massive for Fernando Alonso. And he's up into P2. And we've got Bottas leading the way and Fernando Alonso up into P2. He's got Carlos Sainz right on his tail. But this should be a very interesting race, this one. Because we do need to keep an eye on the fuel. The tyres are... I mean, the one stop is... it's going to be really interesting. What did Verstappen start on? Verstappen started on mediums. So he's going to be doing a medium to hard one stop, I'd imagine. But we can sort of... depending on how we get... what sort of lead we get here. Alonso's 1.7 off Valtteri and is nearly a second ahead of Sainz. We could put Alonso onto a two-stopper as well, which will be interesting to see how that one transforms. But Alonso's doing a good job, so we'll bring his tyres and fuel down a little bit. Good start, though. A good start. Okay, DRS is activated, and with a 2.4 second gap between Alonso and Sainz, we've got Alonso back into the DRS range of Valtteri Bottas, which should pull him along nicely, although he is dropping off slightly. Valtteri Bottas is on the quicker tyre, which is a little bit of a problem, because he can pull away from Fernando Alonso, but we could also use this, because you can see there, Alonso just drops out of DRS when he absolutely needs to keep it in. So we'll get Valtteri to harvest up and see if he can pull him along a little bit. But yeah, it's not ideal that Valtteri's out in front on the faster tyre, but Alonso should be able to catch him and get into that DRS position. Okay, on lap 9, we're doing a really good job here. 3.77 seconds is the different the gap, to Fernando Alonso, who's half a second behind Bottas, so staying within that DRS. And what we're doing is basically charging up Alonso's battery every time that he's in a DRS zone. We just drop everything off, and it's working really well. I was trying to see if we could get Bottas onto a one-stop from the softs, but I don't think it's possible. We could potentially put Alonso in front of Bottas as his tyres start to drop off and get Alonso's sort of pace on these tyres. We may try that, but I don't think getting Bottas onto a one-stop is going to be possible around here. So we know that Alonso is going to get DRS here, so we'll just drop those off, make sure he's saving some fuel, and then we'll get Bottas back on so that he just makes sure he's not holding Alonso up. DRS pulls in really close, which is really, really good. And we extend our lead ahead of Sainz. Verstappen has already cut his way through most of the field, which is very good for him, obviously, but not good for us, because it does mean he's probably going to pass Sainz pretty sharpish and then be sort of on our tails. But we know he's doing a one-stop, so we can sort of match Alonso with him. At the moment, Bottas has to stay on his strategy for now. We do have to think about his fuel, but normally we conserve all around these parts, and it does a good job. So yeah, looking at what his tyre wear is doing, I was sort of thinking if we knock it down to like light, we can extend the mediums out like all the way to here. I know it's adding on time, but I think we're far enough in front that we could potentially make that work as a one-stop. His hards would be dying off at the end, and it is slower, and you do have to run the softs at light for basically from now until he changes, but it is doable. I mean, I'm not committing to it at the moment, but because at the moment we know the tyre wears much better than what we were planning for. So I'm happy where we stand. Lap 10, 3.88 seconds ahead. Verstappen's about to get DRS on Carlos Sainz though. Max Verstappen doing a wonderful job. That new engine will be brilliant for him. But as you can see, fuel is coming back in line though, so we're doing a pretty good job around these parts. It's just how long can we keep Verstappen behind us for will be the big question. Okay, Verstappen has passed Sainz, and he's going to be dragging these two Ferraris with him in the DRS. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to go for a switcheroo, because it looks like Fernando Alonso has a bit more pace at the moment. So we're going to get Alonso to pass Valtteri Bottas in the next sensible place, which will be the start-finish straight, because he should have more pace. You can see he's closing in. We've got them both running on the same sort of issues, and we've done really well with the battery to this point as well, so we can potentially try and pull Valtteri Bottas around. If we have a quick look at last lap times, 1:21. Yeah, Verstappen is so much faster than everybody else. It's quite ridiculous actually. 3 seconds behind us though. Yeah, I think Bottas is starting to just lose a little bit of grip, so we'll take off don't fight teammate now. We'll go, not the telemetry, that's not what I wanted, we'll go up into overtake just to make sure it gets done. We'll pop you down into harvest and conserve. And we'll get Fernando Alonso to get this done, hopefully. If he doesn't get it done on this straight, he'll get it done on the next one. So as long as he doesn't cause an accident into this first corner, which I don't think he has, which is good. Into neutral, into balanced. And then, right, so now I think Bottas is going to have to push just to make sure that he doesn't lose. We'll put Alonso into conserve. And I'm still toying with the idea of getting Bottas onto a one-stopper. I just feel like it makes sense. I do feel like it makes sense. So, right, and then Bottas, don't fight teammate. Just sit behind him nicely and get that done on your light tyres. We're committing. I'm committing to it. So Alonso has to make lap 30. So if we bin that off, get onto the hards. So it can't quite make lap 30. So Bottas will pit around there. 21 seconds slower. I sort of feel like it's sensible, and then if there's a safety car late on, we can jump on the mediums. And if Verstappen catches us, Verstappen catches us. He's got a brand new engine. He's in a really much faster car. We're committing to a one-stop for both drivers. Just Valtteri comes in a hell of a lot earlier than Fernando Alonso. So hopefully Alonso can pull him around a little bit now. Let's try and go for as much pace as we can on this new sort of strategy. But you can see, yeah, 2.6 seconds, 2.1 off Bottas. He's not dragging the Ferraris along with DRS, which is very good news for us. And just as we commit to a strategy, someone has crashed. It's a yellow flag on lap 15. Just a single yellow in sector 1. Don't know. Sonoda has crashed on turn 14. So let's have a quick look at that. I thought it was going to be a safety car because it's such a narrow track. Comes around the final corner. Spins out. Oh, that probably should be a safety car, to be honest. I don't know why that hasn't been flagged as a safety car. But the yellow flag is gone. So he must be driving again. And yeah, he must be in a pretty good position right now. So we're doing all right. Verstappen is massively closing the gap on us. Do we... The thing is, Bottas I don't think has enough of a gap to do a two-stop. 1, 3, 8, 9.5, 10. Bottas just needs to make sure he stays in DRS with Alonso, which could be an issue when we're asking him to save his tyres. I mean, Verstappen's caught us anyway. I think this is a... Oh, now I'm like, do we go back to the two-stopper and mix it up a little bit? Verstappen's pace is absolutely ridiculous. We're going back to a two-stop strategy. I'm flip-flopping all over the place here. We're going to go back to a two-stopper. Add a new stint. Onto softs at the end. That is 7 seconds, 8 seconds, 9 seconds. If it was mediums, 16 seconds gained. Wow, okay. Even more if we push them. 17, 18, 18. Don't push them. You get 19 seconds out of them. 20... That seems like it's the optimal. And in fact, it doesn't make a difference if you come in there or there. So, I guess we can push those softs longer. We're going with the two... it's such a risk. We'll go with the two-stopper. Surely if you push those hards, it's actually quicker as well. It's not. Wow, those hards are pretty useless, actually. So, medium to medium, is that... It is saying it's quicker. I mean, what if we do another stint on the softs and get onto the mediums? No, definitely not quicker. What if you do it soft, soft, hard? Definitely not. Right, soft, medium, medium, I think is what we're going with. So, update that. Not quicker, not quicker. There. Right. But we know that the thing is, we're judging this on where the tyres are going to be here. So, I think we can actually draw this out a little bit longer because that's going to come down. I think we go like that and then we'll update it once we're on the actual fresh tyres. Alonso's right in line with his tyre wear, which is great for his strategy. So, I think we're just going to admit that Bottas is going to be overtaken by Max Verstappen. I think that's not an issue. But if Bottas stays out for 2 more laps and gets this done, I think we now ask... Do we ask Alonso to just go for it? No, but I think we will get Bottas to say, don't fight your teammate, because we need... sorry, he can fight his teammate, because we sort of want Bottas on this two-stop to be out in front. So I think we go with that. And we're going to say, right, Alonso, let him through, but don't give Verstappen too much time to get through either. Right, that you didn't. Good. So, because Bottas is going to be the one setting the fast times, Alonso will defend better against Verstappen, I think. Sonoda pits after his incident, but we're in a decent position here. Tyres, we've got our fuel back in line, which is useful. And to be fair, if Bottas goes really into the distance, I don't even mind. Because Alonso should be able to hang on the back of Verstappen using DRS. So do we just say to Bottas, before you're going to come into pit... No, not yet, because Alonso will keep up with him here on the DRS, which is fine. Which is fine. So Sainz pits. Wow, so that's his soft strategy. Okay, Verstappen might have the pace, but Alonso's going to pull us in. Sainz pits. He's coming in from the soft tyre, which we knew would happen. But he's going to come in from the softs. And what is he going to go on to? He's going on to the hard. Soft to hard. Okay. Interesting. Alonso just about keeping pace with Valtteri at the moment, which is fine. We'll just make sure that Valtteri doesn't lose him too much in this technical section. But yeah, lots of all the soft tyre runners coming in. So Bottas is going to do a bit of a different soft tyre strategy than what we laid out before. But it's going to be very interesting to see what Alonso does on the one stopper. Because I assume that's what Verstappen is doing as well. So as long as if Verstappen overtakes us, then that's fine. Because we just manage the DRS and it's sorted like that. But we'll have to wait and see. If Verstappen pits early, great. But I don't think that's quite going to happen. Yeah, Alonso's struggling to keep up with Bottas. just in that little technical sector. So his tyres obviously are still giving him a good amount of grip. Let's just make sure we keep the DRS in this section. Bottas has just gone off, hasn't he? Right in front of us. He ran wide and Bottas has absolutely fecked it up. So, I mean, now you can push. Right in front of us. I saw it happen. He was out in front. Oh, Valtteri. Valtteri. And then he had to not have a safe re-entry. So he's now got a push to get back into this race. We might as well just chuck everything at it because he's going to pit on the next lap. So now it is Alonso v Verstappen. Verstappen's going to have the double DRS zone that you get in Hungary. So we'll just make sure that that's on deployed to keep up with him. Oh, Valtteri. I mean, Valtteri isn't out of the question. He's not out of this race at all. Definitely not out of this race at all. But that really is not going to help. And now we have to manually manage Alonso to stay in the DRS of Max Verstappen, which is always troublesome to do that, really. But yeah, so Bottas is closing the gap to Leclerc, but Leclerc's nearly 3 seconds behind Alonso. So it's going to be very, very difficult. Sainz has got a lot of traffic to get through. That's my worry with Bottas when he pits, especially after spinning. But yeah, we'll manage it. We'll be back for Bottas's pit stop. Okay, so here comes Valtteri into the pits from third position because he did overtake Leclerc before we pitted. He's going on to his first set of medium tyres. There goes Russell, or Ricciardo just going past him. Russell's going to pass him as well, as does Vettel. Is he going to come out in front of Ocon? That's the question. Where is Ocon? No, Ocon goes past. Gasly goes past. Bottas going to come out in a bit of no man's land. So now he's got a lot of work to do on his fresh mediums, which should give him quite a lot of pace, to be honest. They should give him a good amount of pace. We'll leave him in neutral ERS for now as well. So back to Alonso. Alonso is very much keeping pace with Max Verstappen, who, now that he isn't getting DRS off anyone, looks like he's in quite ordinary speed. I'm probably going to regret that as we say it, because he's pulling away in this section. So we can deploy our battery just to make sure that we keep up with him. We've given Alonso a pretty much full battery at the start of every lap when he needs it. So we are in a good position. And I think we just sit behind Max Verstappen, knowing that we're on similar strategies. And then, in fact, we can go in a harvest here because we're definitely going to get the DRS open. And we're definitely going to get it on the next bit as well. So we can save a bit of our tyres. I mean, DRS isn't pulling us too close to Max Verstappen, but it's pulling us as close as we need on this first section, because then you get another DRS just here as Bottas comes out in 10th with the current fastest lap. So that's not too bad at all. And then get Alonso just to make sure he's back, staying within Max Verstappen's DRS, which looks like he could lose it. So Verstappen was, or Alonso rather, pitting on lap 30. So 9 laps till he pits. How's Max Verstappen's tyres? 63%. So slightly better than Fernando Alonso's. But yeah, very similar lap times, which I'm very happy with. Valtteri Bottas has spun again. Turn 1 on fresh tyres. I'm hoping that hasn't ruined his tyres. We were just about to ask him to push a little bit more as well to close the gap, but Valtteri Bottas having a bit of a shocker here. 95%, so it hasn't ruined his tyres, but we are going to have to ask him to go for it, basically. Oh, and Alonso, while I was watching Bottas spin, is losing his DRS to Max Verstappen, which is not ideal. Not ideal at all. Bottas now the nearly 5-second gap to Albon, and he's doing a 2-stopper. Bottas has potentially completely messed up his race here. Okay, we've been managing Alonso behind Verstappen. He's doing a good job. We checked the strategy and it said pitting 1 lap later was slightly quicker. So that's what we've gone for with Fernando Alonso, who is doing really well to keep pace with Verstappen. He's pulling us along 6 seconds or nearly 7 seconds ahead of Leclerc. Bottas is climbing up some positions as well. He's trying to close down the gap to Gasly. He's doing a pretty good job on his new medium tyres. Still has the fastest lap from last time. But yeah, I mean, Bottas with the spin has really, really cost him. But because if we look, so we're keeping pace basically with Verstappen. Let's just make sure we don't lose him on this little last few sections through here so that we keep our DRS. So something in sector 2. Is it a yellow flag or is it a safety car? It looks just like a yellow flag. Someone ran wide. Yeah, someone ran wide, so no issues there. Right, into harvest because we're going to get the DRS. That will pull us into Verstappen. Get a bit more in that battery. But yeah, if we have a look to the leader, so Bottas is 23 seconds off us, which is a pit stop. So he's not completely out of it, but he's doing 2 stops, right? So it'll be very interesting. But Max Verstappen, we'll assume, has also entered his pit window. So it'll be interesting to see how this works, because we are saving up a little bit of battery every time, and it's putting us in a very good position. If we can stay out potentially 1 lap longer than Verstappen and then push on that lap and see if we can get an advantage. I think Verstappen's natural pace with his new engine parts is going to really help him. But we're in a decent position. We are in a very decent position with Alonso, given that we haven't taken new engine components. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this unfolds at the end. I'm really not sure, but Verstappen should be pitting pretty soon. It should be around lap 30 like us, because we're now lap 31. But Verstappen's on the same strategy as far as we can tell. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting. He's definitely getting more acceleration out the corners. You can see we lose quite a lot of time through the corners coming at them. But as long as we stay within this DRS, it's all good, because we don't have to push once we have the DRS. We can use that DRS to pull us along, which is very nice. In fact, we could even go down to light as we come around this corner, just to make sure our tyres have a little bit more pace on them. Like that, because our DRS will pull us along, pull us in towards Max Verstappen now, and then we go neutral and standard down here, push the fuel a little bit to keep us in line, and there we go. So it's all going to come down to who pits when, basically. That's what this is going to come down to, and how much Verstappen can keep this natural pace up, and if Alonso can keep it up as well, because he's doing a fantastic job. Okay, interesting. Verstappen has pitted on lap 29, so this is Fernando's chance to really go for it and see what he can do. We've got him in harvest at the moment, but let's deploy it as soon as we come out around here. Actually, let's go neutral. So this is where Bottas should now start catching people as well, even though he will have to pit again. So yeah, this is where Alonso really needs to make the most of it. And then we're going to decide where Verstappen comes out, where we're going to pit. Because I think, is Verstappen coming out in second? I think Verstappen is coming out in second place. 17.7 behind us. Reports, circuit info, time considerations. 20 seconds under green flag. So it will be close between us and Verstappen if we pit now. I'm just thinking, with a bit of clean air, our tyres aren't completely dead. Let's push it and pit on our optimal lap when we're meant to. So Bottas climbs back into 4th place. He's 21 seconds behind us. So we should actually come out behind Russell. I don't think Russell's pitted yet either. No, Russell hasn't pitted. Because having extra life in our tyres at the end against Verstappen could be crucial. It really could be crucial. So on this lap, this is the lap we're going to deploy the battery and see what we can do, because we're going to be pitting coming towards the end of this lap. I thought for some reason we're at the end of the lap. We're not just yet. But again, Bottas as well should probably be pushing a little bit harder if he can, now that he's in that position. His tyre wear is doing all right, so I think we can go a little bit aggressive with him. Right, so right now, as we come around this corner, is it going to use all of our battery? It is going to use all of our battery, but we're going to whack it on deploy, because as soon as we get it out of these corners, we need to utilise it. And then Bottas, push, and we don't need you to deploy just yet. Yeah, your battery's empty, but it's not going to be once you get the braking out of here, because Verstappen also isn't going to get onto the hards. Verstappen isn't going to get DRS off anyone, so he's not going to be more quicker through that. He's just going to be quicker through his natural pace, which we know he's got. So Russell pits as well. Albon pits. So we may come out just behind Valtteri Bottas, which will be interesting. Sainz is 26 seconds away. Our last lap was a 120.6. Bottas a 119.4. So he is lapping very, very quickly on those mediums. I'm just worried about Alonso's tyres, but given that he's going to be coming in after this lap, I think we should be okay. So Russell comes out here behind Perez. Verstappen is closing the gap. I think this is Verstappen's Grand Prix to win with his new engine components. I do think that. But yeah, Alonso is going to be pitting at the end of this lap. We've utilised all of his battery, so there's no point in doing anything else with that as he comes into the pit lane. And then it's just about getting onto these hards, having a good stop, and seeing where we end up. I'm expecting us to be just in front of Valtteri, I think. I think Verstappen's undercut may have worked pretty good for him here. And then we can see if we can use the pace of both drivers to potentially catch him up, as it's a long old way down to the Aston Martin crew. We need a good stop, boys. We need a good stop. 2.6 isn't bad. Verstappen is just coming down the start-finish straight. He has passed us. So it's going to be up to Alonso to try and make that time. There's Valtteri. Oh, Valtteri, oh my word, just swings in front of him and gets past as well. So Valtteri will continue to get him to push. See if he can pull us along. But I think this is now Verstappen's race to successfully win. Let's just make sure I haven't left any don't fight teammates on. No, I haven't. Yeah, because Valtteri's setting some really good times. So yeah, Alonso, don't fight your teammate. Let him pull you along a little bit. That is what we need. But in 2 and 3, not bad at all, is it? So yeah, Valtteri, you pull us along, please, using your medium tyres. That would be lovely. And we'll sort your fuel out later, mate. Don't worry about it. Okay, so we're getting to the point where Valtteri is now holding up Fernando Alonso. So we're going to do the old switcheroo on the start-finish straight of this lap, I think, and get Alonso out in front. Because Alonso is lapping quicker than Max Verstappen because of the DRS. But I think Alonso might be able to actually utilise some natural pace on the fresher tyres. And I think we're going to go for that. We do have a comfortable lead ahead of Leclerc, so that is pretty useful. But we will get, well, as long as Alonso is staying within DRS, which he is, we'll get him to pass his teammate on this sector here. And just to make sure we do that, let's just get that done in a natural way where Bottas doesn't push too much and Fernando does. So it should be, if not, as I said, not on this straight, it should be on the next one, because Verstappen is just absolutely caning away from Bottas. So that is fine. Into neutral. Right, let's get you pushing Fernando a little bit. See what you can do in terms of time. See if you can close that gap to Verstappen, although I'm not expecting you to, because 5.3 seconds is an awful long way. It really is. And Bottas, you're going to have to fend for yourself a little bit. Okay, Max Verstappen is in a world of his own, 8.9 seconds ahead of Fernando Alonso, but Bottas is coming in for his second pit stop. We're sort of just letting Alonso do his thing and crack on with his race, knowing that second should be pretty comfortable. But the key thing is here is what can Bottas do on his fresh mediums, because he's generally lapping okay on these mediums, losing a bit of pace to Alonso. But if we can catch Sainz and Leclerc, who are going to be on older hards and battling with each other, Bottas could be in a great position here on these mediums. There goes Daniel Ricciardo, so he's the first one we've got to pass, but it should mean we get a nice bit of DRS after this first lap. So we're in a good position. I'm not too upset at the moment. Bottas comes out just behind Daniel Ricciardo, and yeah, the two stopper, let's see if it works. I mean, Ricciardo's got pretty fresh hards. Sainz pitted early, he might pit again. But yeah, let's see how this works on the mediums. They should be a hell of a lot quicker, to be honest. Is it? Where's the compound performance? That's it. So mediums are 0.06 time loss from degradation. Oh no, they are 0.3. They're 0.3 of a second quicker, like generally. So yeah, I feel like we should be in a decent position to do something with Bottas here, because he has 14 laps, is that right? Maybe 24 laps to make something happen, and he is, well, he's going to get DRS off Ricciardo, and then he's got to make up 8 seconds to Sainz and Leclerc. So it's not beyond the realms of possibility to make something happen. Yeah, let's wait and see, I guess. Okay, Bottas has passed Daniel Ricciardo, and Perez and Sainz have both pitted for fresh tyres. They've gone on to mediums as well, or Sainz has anyway, Perez as well. But now we're in a battle just to try and chase down Leclerc. 8.8 seconds we've got to make up now we've passed Ricciardo. We're asking Valtteri to push everything, see what he can do, and go from there. But yeah, it's going to be a tough ask, but we'll see how he gets on. Hopefully no more useless spins, Valtteri. Okay, Valtteri Bottas has done an amazing job. We are within DRS of Charles Leclerc now, so the 2-3 could be on for Aston Martin. We're having a superb little race here. Again, we've just let Alonso do his thing, but Valtteri has done the mediums against those hards are very, very good. Very, very good. I mean, to the point where if we wanted to, we could potentially... I'm contemplating putting Alonso on them to finish, but I think the pit stop will drop him a bit too far back. But yeah, this is these mediums are incredible. The amount of time we've made up on Charles Leclerc is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I'm sort of contemplating... What did we say a pit stop takes? Circuit info, time considerations, 20 seconds with green flag, average pit lane loss 22 seconds. I mean, Alonso currently has the fastest lap. He's got Charles Leclerc 14 seconds behind him, and then it's 24 seconds to Daniel Ricciardo. So he'd come out in 4th, but then I don't think there's quite enough laps to get him back into competitive racing with Charles Leclerc. So I think we leave it as it is with Alonso. But yeah, Valtteri's doing an absolutely superb job. I think we're actually going to harvest up a little bit of battery on this point as well, because no need to deploy. We're lapping so much faster. Nearly a second a lap faster than Charles Leclerc is what Valtteri Bottas is doing. And I think once we're past him as well, we should be able to really make it count. I mean, he may be able to overtake him in harvest mode here, which would be quite impressive. And it does show the two-stopper is much, much quicker. I'm surprised Max Verstappen didn't do it, to be honest, if he knew he was going to cut through the field that easily. But we should get him now, Valtteri. Go on. Put you into overtake. See what you can do. No, you can have another lap just sitting behind him. Okay, we'll charge up. Oh, no, he's going down the inside. He was having a look. We'll leave him in harvest for now, because I don't think we're going to lose too much pace to Charles Leclerc, given how quickly we've just reined him in with literally doing nothing. So if we can get our battery charged into the next lap and go from there, that will be bloody superb. This has been a long old race, though, for recording. I don't know why it's taken so long to record this one, but yeah, this has been very, very, very good for Aston Martin. I know we started 1 and 2, but Verstappen's pace was just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, to given the fact he started in, 11th or 12th, and he's now 13 seconds out in front, it's absolutely bonkers, to be honest. But we've made such improvements this year with the car. We're in a really, really good position. I'm very, very happy with it, to be honest. Let's just go into neutral, get that done. I don't think we'll need to, but we might tell him just to get into clean air to get this done. Because if we can get it done in this section, then you also get the DRS in the second one as well. So yeah, there we go. Lovely stuff. So Bottas gets past. He's going to have a lot of battery as well. We can push his fuel. We can push his tyres. Let's get him away from Charles Leclerc. Get him into his own open space and get those tyres working to their maximum that he can. I don't think Alonso's... I think Alonso is too far away, to be honest. So, because Alonso's still doing laps similar to Bottas, although Bottas was stuck behind Charles Leclerc and harvesting up on that last lap. So it's not really a fair one to judge. But my prediction is that Bottas is going to take the fastest lap on this lap and then probably keep it till the end of the race. So we'll see how it goes. There's a lap car that Bottas is coming up to overtake as well. So very, very good. A purple sector 1 for Valtteri. So it does look like he's going to get the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Which I think is fair. He did start on pole. He set the second fastest time, didn't he, in qualifying. And then Verstappen got booted down because of his grid penalties. But yeah, Valtteri's putting in an absolutely stonking lap, to be honest, which is lovely to see from the Finn driver, especially after his spin as well. It's put him in a very good position. So well done, Valtteri. You're going to get the fastest lap. 10 laps to go in this one. We'll be back towards the end of it. So we're starting the final lap. Bottas has done a stellar job. He's caught up his teammate. He's only a 4-second gap now. But Verstappen is going to win this one relatively easily, you would think, because a 19-second lead, he needs something pretty drastic. He could probably have pitted on the last lap and still beaten us. But yeah, very good drive from Max Verstappen. Alonso, currently in P2, and hoping there isn't going to be any issues, will be finishing in P2. And Bottas has had a... Given that he had a spin and we messed his starting strategy up, he has had a bloody superb race, Valtteri Bottas. And you can argue he's thrown a few things away, but I think he's had a really, really good race. And his lap times towards the end of this race have been absolutely... He's matching Max Verstappen, which is very good pace, to be honest. And it's really good to see Alonso and Valtteri performing this well this season in an Aston Martin. It's going to be points gained over Mercedes again. It's going to be points gained on Ferrari, potentially putting us even closer to them in the constructors, as Max Verstappen wins the Hungary Grand Prix well out in front. We underfueled the car by a lap, and Alonso's basically going to finish it. There is multiple cars crashed in Sector 2, which isn't our drivers. Both of them are going to finish. There is Alonso qualifying, finishing the race in second. And there is Valtteri Bottas. He gets the DRS off the cars in front, and he comes over in second and third for Aston Martin, which is absolutely brilliant. I'm really happy with it. Really, really happy with that race. Superb. Yeah, awesome driving. Max Verstappen up 9 places was absolutely bonkers. But Bottas does get the fastest lap, so 16 points for him, 18 points for Alonso. Really, really good. In the drivers then, Alonso goes up to 3rd in the Drivers' Championship, which is amazing. Bottas climbs up to 5th as well. In the Constructors, though, we're closing the gap, aren't we? It's what, 29 points, I think that is, something like that. I can't do the maths at the moment, but we've closed the gap on Ferrari by 12 points, which is really good. And we even gained more points than Red Bull in that one, who take top spot off Ferrari. Lovely stuff. And we extend our gap, increase of 20 points over Mercedes as well. So it's all looking good for Aston Martin at the moment. So our mid-season board review, we're currently 3rd, so we're on target to beat 4th is what they want. Score podiums in 25% of this season's races, which is 6. We've already scored 7 podiums, which is amazing. And yeah, we're doing a really, really good job. Board confidence is high. Team rating is just getting towards 3, and we're getting a bonus of 1.5 million. Lovely. Next up is Belgium. And I don't think we're going to have anything on the car new in terms of that one. Belgium is 25 days. Maybe we will, because they're both going to be done, and we'll probably have enough time to manufacture them as well. Okay, well, we will be bringing up upgrades to Belgium, believe it or not. But yeah, lovely stuff. Right, let's have a quick check to see if we've got any points that can be spent. No, and no. I'm wondering, do we try again with Alonso as a contract? I don't know. We'll see towards the end of the season with that one. Staff, no points at all. Right, we will see you in the next Grand Prix for the Belgium Grand Prix at the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. Catch you then. See you in a bit. Cheers.